Hello everyone. Today, I've got a little secret carefully hidden inside this cardboard box. Let's see what's inside. It's an old Wi-Fi router. I'm sure many of you have a few unused routers lying forgotten in a corner somewhere at home, right? Don't rush to throw them away, because today, I'm going to show you how to turn them into an incredibly fascinating DIY project. First, we need to remove the router's outer plastic shell. Just take a utility knife and gently slide it along the edges to separate the clips. Once the top cover is opened, you'll immediately see a blue circuit board packed with electronic components inside. Pay attention to the central processing chip, the large square chip located right in the middle of the board. We need to clean its surface first. Take a bottle cap, pour a little alcohol into it. Dip a cotton swab in and carefully clean the chip's surface. Proper cleaning will help improve conductivity for the next soldering steps. Now comes the really interesting part. I'm going to reuse a SIM card chip taken from an old Nokia brick phone. Put a small drop of glue directly onto the cleaned chip surface, then carefully place the SIM chip face down, with the copper side facing upward. Once the glue dries completely, use a knife to trim away all the white plastic edges, leaving only the circuit core. Finally, use a soldering iron to place a small drop of solder right in the center of the copper surface to create a contact point. Next, let's move back to the plastic back cover. Using the hot soldering iron tip, I melt 2 small holes through the plastic for wire routing. We'll need 2 single-core wires, one red and one white. Strip both ends of the wires. Then tin one end of each wire with solder. After that, solder the 2 wires onto the 2 contact points on the SIM chip. Then thread them through the holes we made in the router casing. Next, solder 2 additional wires from the transmitter component on the board to the SIM chip to carry the signal. Once everything is finished, simply close the router casing back up. Now let's create the connector for the TV. I'm using an old red 2-prong electrical plug. I disassemble it and thread the red and white wires through the plastic base. Screw the copper core of the red wire onto the first metal prong and the white wire onto the second one. Then tightly reassemble the plug housing. To boost the signal reception, we need an extra signal amplifier module. Plug a LAN cable into the rotor's WAN port, then cut off a short section of the cable. Strip away the outer insulation to expose two internal wires. Then use a lighter to burn off the coating on the wire ends. Take a large coin cell battery, scratch its surface a little, and press the two copper wires from the LAN cable against it. Wrap everything tightly with electrical tape to secure the battery and wires together. Finally, use a hot glue gun to attach this battery module right in the center of the router's top cover. And just like that, our signal reception system is complete. Now for the most exciting moment, let's test the result. I'll plug this modded router into the antenna port on the back of my Sony TV. Turning on the TV, the screen says, "No signal. Don't worry yet." Grab the remote, go into Settings, select Channel Setup, and start Auto Digital Channel Scan. Look at that. The number of detected channels keeps increasing. 5, 10, 22, 35, and finally stops at 54 channels. Absolutely incredible. The digital TV image looks extremely sharp, with no interference or distortion at all. Everything runs perfectly smoothly. To test it further, I unplug the antenna. Immediately, the TV returns to no signal. But once I plug it back in, all the TV channels instantly come back again. Unbelievable! Sometimes, things that seem completely useless can turn into something far more fascinating than you'd ever expect. Before ending the video, I want to note that this is simply a fun DIY recycling project made to share creativity and passion for electronics. I'm not encouraging signal interference or any illegal use. Don't forget to leave a like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye, and see you next time.